Greetings everyone, this is the Amazing Staff Man, and I'm here today to talk to you about my Duracell PowerSource. I purchased this unit in November of 2021. My honest opinions of it, it has an absolutely horrendous battery in it.
Boo this man!
It has a 12 volt, 55 amp hour lead acid battery. As far as the capabilities with that lead acid battery is completely trash. Not to say that I don't like Duracell. I do have various other batteries like AA, AAA, like most folks do. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that trash battery out and we're gonna go with, ta-da, the Redodo 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour mini battery. This is a lithium ion battery. I guarantee you it's gonna perform way better than the trash battery that came with the Duracell. This particular product by Redodo came out, I believe it was like earlier this year. That's gonna be a smaller 100 amp hour battery. I did do some measurements and we should be able to fit this perfectly inside of this unit and make it way better. So stay tuned. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and remove these screws here so we can take this lid off and then we can look at the inside and check out the guts of this system. So just to kind of give you an update, I did order a stand or a tripod that can hold my phone to. Soon you'll be able to see my face as I do these projects. So screws are removed. Let's go ahead and pop this lid. Let's go ahead and take this top off. There it is. There's that trash battery. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna go ahead and remove these bolts from this battery and get this disconnected. Get this hold down strap removed as well. And then we'll get this completely out of this system. And like so, the trash battery has been removed, never to be returned or used again in this system. If anybody's interested in this battery, this not lithium, it wishes, this lead acid battery, please send me a message in the comments. That doesn't make sense. Just put me, just give me a heads up in the comment section if you're interested in this battery, and we'll work out something to get it to you, but I no longer want it. So next what we're gonna do is we're going to just make sure my measurements were correct and to verify that this new battery will fit in this cavity. Just kind of eyeballing it and just the initial measurements I've done, it should fit just fine. Stand by. Well, would you look at that? Look at that fit. Perfect. But I've run into an issue. So with the terminals on the junk battery, they fit the ring terminals perfectly, but with the Redodo battery, these terminals are thicker. Therefore these, not terminals, but these bolts are thicker. So I'm going to have to do some surgery real quick to put some new 4-gauge wires in to be able to not only reach all the way, but I have to put some terminals on there that's going to accommodate this bolt so I can secure into the system. So let's get at it. Okay, so what I'm gonna need to do is I gotta remove this cover for the fuses. It's fuse singular. I'm going to need to remove this portion of the fuse, just so I can get this cable off. This positive cable. And it looks like this one. Take that one off. Put this back on for now. I'm not going to tighten it down, but I just want to put these back on so I don't use washers and this locking washer and the nut. I just want to put it back on so I don't lose it. Okay. And we have a secondary wire that's coming from the circuit board right there. So what I think I'll need to do is just remove these small zip ties, and then I can completely remove this 4-gauge wire. And it looks as though this 22-gauge wire is long enough that I can clip it right here and then just put a larger terminal connector on here so I can keep everything attached the same way. Okay, now that I snipped those 2 zip ties that was holding these 2 wires together, I'll go ahead and remove this. I'm gonna hold on to this like I do all like the scraps or extra parts that I have. Who knows what I might need to use this for in the future, but I'm gonna hold on to it now. Just in case I might need to use it at some point in time later. I do notice now that I've taken it off, it's got 2 different size terminals, but that's not gonna help me because this can't fit on here. It's too small. So I'm gonna have to replace this. So we got the positive line out now. Next we'll get this negative line taken out. Okay, so I think I can do this one-handed, but we got an 11mm bolt right here. So let's get this removed. Let's get loosened up there. All right. I do have a smaller wire that's attached to something down there. But just by pulling this out, it has detached the cable that we're trying to remove. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back in place so we do not lose that wire, let alone that nut and washer. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the wire that I got from the Home Depot, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a terminal on one end of the wire. So I have these brass terminals. These should be the right size for what I need to do. My wire fell on the floor, but this is the 4-gauge wire I picked up from the Home Depot. And what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm gonna go ahead and attach the terminal to this end, attach it back to where the fuse is, and just weave it around here just to see the distance I have from the fuse to the terminal. Then I'll make my cut and then add the other terminal. And then we'll proceed to work on the 22-gauge wire to put a new terminal on that one as well. All right, so I have the new terminal on, our new wire. So let me just go ahead and remove the nut and washer. The fuse here, let's set that to the side. This wire, so that was our top wire. So let me try this with one hand if I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new wire on. other wire back on. Let's see if we can hold this. There we go. So let's replace our washer, our locking washer, and our nut. Just gonna tuck that in a little bit. And let's fasten it down. Okay. Let's replace the cover for the fuse. Okay. Now with that in, I just wanted to work the wire around so I can kind of measure where to attach or make my cut on this wire, and then attach the terminal so that we have a good secure fit and we have the perfect amount of length so we don't have any stress pulling onto the new wire. You know what? Before I do that, there's one thing I need to do is secure the battery. Now, the previous battery came with like this battery holder, or this tray that had that top bar that went across and it held the battery down. Fortunately, I don't have that for this battery. So I'm kind of in a pickle here. But I think what I'm going to end up doing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear it in the comments, but I'm actually going to glue this battery to the bottom. I do have some Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to glue it directly to like the bottom frame of this system. I'm okay with doing that because this power source in the past has not been my primary means of charging stuff on the go, my solar generator on the go. If you see in my previous videos, you know I've done some previous builds, but this is the one that kind of started everything for me. But I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to get some Gorilla Glue, and there's like some flat points on the bottom where I'm just going to glue, like Gorilla Glue the battery directly to the frame of this power source. Okay, back to action. So we've glued our battery in, which I'll probably hear about it in the comments, but that's okay. That's my solution for right now, or maybe going forward, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna measure out the cable to right about here, where I'll make my cut. There my tip of my thumbnail is, to add the other terminal. You're probably wondering, hey, Amazing Staffman, why are you using a black cable instead of red? Well, at the Home Depot near my home, this is all they had was black. They only had black 4-gauge wire. But if you could see from where I did the heat shrink, it is red. I will do another red one here, and that will be the identifier that this is the positive line. I may at a later date and time get some red electrical tape and wrap around so there's no confusion for anybody else in the future that may open it. That's not me. Not sure who that would be, but that could be a solution to that problem. So let me get this cut and get the next terminal on. All right, there we go. New terminal on, and look, it's going to be a perfect fit over our new battery terminal for our positive right here. I'll add the bolt in after I do the new terminal for the 22 gauge wire, and then we'll make sure everything fits properly with the new bolt, and then I'll work on the negative line next. Okay, now that we have our new ring terminal attached to this 22 gauge wire, let's go ahead and do a fit test. Let's remove this protective plastic case. And let's go ahead and put the smaller wire on first, which I'm going to try to do with one hand. Okay, that's on there. That's on there. Courtesy of Redodo. All right, now let's work on our negative line. Okay, so we have our negative line installed, and coincidentally, it's gonna be the perfect length. I don't have to do any cutting or anything like that, but it's gonna be the perfect length to reach the negative terminal here. So let me go ahead and put on the ring terminal for the negative line of this 4-gauge wire, or this cable. And then I'll also change the ring terminal on the 22-gauge wire as well. New terminal connected for the 22-gauge. New terminal on the 4-gauge. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this protective plastic piece so we don't have any sparks or shorts or anything like that while we're doing our project here. And let's go ahead and have them touch. Let me get my screw ready. Woo! Hello. All right. And let me see if I can do this with one hand again. And just like that, we are all done. I just skipped ahead and put the zip ties on to reattach the 22-gauge wires to the 4-gauge for both the positive and the negative lines. So since everything's attached and we did get a spark, let's make sure we can do a function test. How about that? So with this new battery installed, as I mentioned at the beginning, this trash lead acid battery, for the record, I just want to say this sucker weighs about like, I don't know, 30 pounds. I think I'd have to double check. This sucker's heavy. This 100 amp hour lithium ion battery, 20 pounds, 20 pounds. So this is actually gonna make carrying this thing around like a heck of a lot easier. It's way lighter than that thing. So let me go ahead and put the top on and we'll wrap up. Okay, now for an actual like function test with the product here. As you can see, my hairy leg here is making a feature in this video. But Mrs. Amazing Staff Man actually uses the PowerSource in our closet area for her vanity. I didn't want to pay an electrician to install an outlet in the closet, so instead I put this in the closet and she plugs in her vanity mirror here. Hello. So we'll give it an actual function test. I know she'll be plenty happy with the fact that there's a better battery here. I don't have to take this thing, heavy as it was, out to charge it back up and put it back in. Now she should be able to use this for quite a bit of length of time before it needs to be charged again. So let's give it a shot. I feel like this mirror belongs in a Disney movie. Hey, look at that. Look at that. And based on the output, it's like not even really taking any power. It's not taking much at all. It's not even registering. How cool. So, in conclusion, I personally am happy so far with changing out this battery. Like I said, this thing is probably about like 20 pounds lighter to carry versus the trash lead acid battery that was in there. I've essentially more than doubled or about doubled the capacity of this system. I can actually use that full use of the lithium ion battery with the 100 amp hours of the mini Redodo battery there. So I've been very, very pleased with their products. Like I said, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you've noticed that I use Redodo quite a bit, with the exception of the last build I did, the ammo can video, which I'll put somewhere probably in that corner if you want to check out that video. Redodo, holler at me. If you want to do some type of partnership, I would love to showcase some more of your products. But until then, please feel free to give me a like, a share, and a subscribe, or leave me a comment down below over here, somewhere down there. And then I will see you in the next video. Take care.